Hey guys, Dave here again from BHWCVR. Here doing my third reading for our virtual book club. Couple things. I'm gonna do all this on a whim, so if I mess up, you're gonna see it. So there. A couple things I wanted to talk about. We have a fundraiser coming up on April 20th, obviously 2024, at our local American Legion. At this event, we're going to be doing, we're going to have food, which we will provide, live entertainment from Sir Charles DJ Entertainment Services. We will have a silent auction. We're going to have 50-50 raffles. Also, I'm going to set up some cornhole. I know a lot of people like cornhole. I like cornhole. And there will be drinks available inside the American Legion for a very small fee. That day, they're also doing their open house to introduce the public to the American Legion, and for those who have served or know someone who served, and they can join as well. But this is open to the public, so please come out. If you guys wish to come out, have a good time. It's going to be fun. It is going to be fun, and we're just basically trying to get um, our name out there, introduce ourselves more to the public, and please come. If you are interested, go ahead and comment on our site. Say, hey, interested in your fundraiser, and we will go ahead and just send you the address. Um, you know, basically, and we'll send you like an invitation, a remember the date type of invitation, so you don't forget. Okay. Um, with that, also, so we're gonna start our book reading here. What we're gonna do is I wanted to mention this as well. As you know, I can't keep reading word for word. I can't do that. Copyright infringement laws. So what you guys can do, if you wish to know what I'm reading, the name of it, the title, you could comment me and comment, like I said, on the website, and I'll get back to you and give you the name and the author. That way, you guys know exactly, because I'm only taking excerpts of it. And this particular book is awesome, and it's one of my favorites by far. And this particular section that we're going to read is called "Training the Mind for Happiness," or in general, training your mind in general. It's a very, very long section. So I'm gonna make this small, um, small, not very long. That way you guys get the concept of what I'm reading, because it can be a lot of information thrown at you at once. So it's not gonna be a long reading, but it will be an informative reading. And with that, let's go ahead and start. Okay. Once again, this is called Training the Mind for Your Happiness. And I have highlighted a lot of things that I want to add. I will. There goes my ums. You're going to keep hearing them until I get better at this. Okay. So I highlighted a lot, and some of the things I will comment on, but I'm going to read it and I'm going to let you stew on it without my interruptions so much. But I do like to add my opinion or my um, ideas or what I get out of it. I feel that's kind of important, but people will get different things out of different things they read. Doesn't mean my opinion is going to match yours, or what you feel about it's going to match mine as well. So, without further ado, this is The Path to Happiness and Training of the Mind. In identifying one's mental state as the prime factor in achieving happiness, of course, that doesn't deny that our basic physical needs for food, clothing, and shelter must be met. But once these basic needs are met, it's pretty clear we don't need more money. It's nice, don't get me wrong. I like it. You don't need a lot of it though to be happy. That's a fact. We already know this. But once these basic needs are met, the message is clear. We don't need more money. We don't need greater success or fame. We don't need the perfect body or even the perfect mate. At this very moment, we have a mind, which is all the basic equipment we need to achieve this happiness. It's not going to be anything else. Again, here's my opinion. It's not going to be money. It's not going to be fame. I mean, if my phone goes off, it's because I'm famous. Okay, I'm famous, and I apologize for all the the dings that you hear. It's probably the president. So, and when some elite person or some famous person, probably them because I'm pretty famous. Yeah, I'm getting goofy. Oh, but is it late? Time is it? Anyway, let's keep going. With that, here we go. So similarity. Okay, so basically we just said it takes the mind to complete happiness. As I went and got goofy on you. Um, So similarly, when we talk about our mind, there are thousands of different thoughts or different minds. They say thousands of different minds. To me, that's just mind chatter. When they say thousands of different minds, that's a little bit broad, I think. Among them, some are very helpful. Those we should take and nourish. Some are negative, very harmful. Those we should try to reduce. Definitely reduce negativity. Um, Train that mind for some positive things. So the first step in seeking happiness is learning, just like anything else. Learning is the key. If you want to be anything, you have to learn first to do that or to achieve that. Same thing with your happiness. We first have to learn how negative emotions and behaviors are harmful to us and how positive emotions are helpful. That kind of realization enhances our determination to face and overcome them. And then there's a realization of the beneficial aspects of the positive emotions and behaviors. Once it's realized, we become determined to cherish, develop, and increase those positive emotions no matter how difficult it is. What's that saying is, would you rather be happy or negative and unhappy? And it's pretty clear. Everybody wants to be happy. We talked about that in the last reading. That's it. That's the overall message is happiness. Uh we have become determined to cherish, develop, and increase those positive emotions no matter how difficult it is. There's a kind of spontaneous willingness from within. So through the process of learning and analyzing which thoughts and emotions are good or bad for us, we gradually develop a firm determination to change feeling. Now, the secret to my own happiness, my own good fortune is within my own hands. I must not miss that opportunity. Let me read that again. Once we realize about the positiveness of being happy and the negativity of being unhappy, we realize we become determined to cherish, develop, and increase those positive emotions no matter how difficult it is. There is a kind of spontaneous willingness from within. So, through the process of learning, of analyzing which thoughts and emotions are beneficial and which are harmful, we gradually develop a firm determination to change feeling. Now, the secret to my own happiness, my own good fortune future is within my hands. I must not miss that opportunity. I read that twice so you can understand that portion of it. I probably read it 2 or 3 times before I was like, "Oh, okay." I must not miss that opportunity. Keep going. Like I said, it's gonna be small reading today, you guys. There's a lot to training your mind. It's not just, what I'm saying. It takes a little bit, and that this chapter, talks about all that. But again, I've highlighted some key points here. If you desire happiness, you should seek the causes that give rise to it. If you don't desire suffering, then what you should do is to ensure that the causes and conditions that would give rise to it no longer arises. So, you basically, if you don't desire suffering, then what you should do to ensure that causes and condition that would give rise is no longer available to you. So whatever is making that happen for you, the suffering, Don't stick to whatever that's doing for you. Suffering obviously is not gonna make you happy. If you start realizing, so the key to this all is realizing, listening to your head and seeing, "Okay, I'm unhappy. Why am I unhappy? What's happening? What made me unhappy? Let me change that. Let me do something else. Let me think about something else that's going to change that thought." That's what that means. An appreciation of this causal principle is very important. Now we have spoken of the supreme importance of the mental factor in achieving happiness. It sounds cut and dry and it like, oh, it's all wrapped up now. Just this portion, what I'm reading states this. Again, it's very, very long. The next task, therefore, is to examine the variety of mental states that we experience. I just said that. We need to clearly identify different mental states and make a distinction, them, classifying them according to whether they lead to happiness or not. So, like I said, think about what's making you happy and what is not. Whatever's not making you happy, don't do it. I guess that would be just a cut and dry way to look at it. Um, let's see here. An example, as one example, for instance, hatred, jealousy, anger, and so on are harmful. They are negative states of mind because they destroy our mental happiness. Once you harbor feelings of hatred or ill feelings towards someone, once you yourself are filled by hatred or negative emotions, then other people appear to you as also hostile. So, as a result, there is more fear, greater inhibition and hesitation, and a sense of insecurity. It's amazing how your negative mind can make you feel all these ways of insecurity, not significant enough. Um, it's amazing what that does. So don't do that to yourself. Not worth it. See what's going on upstairs and see what's making you happy, what's not. Try not to do what's not making you happy. Try your best to focus on making you happy and you stick with it. And that's a part of training the mind because your negative mind, your mind chatter is going to constantly throw negative thoughts at you. And it is your job for yourself to fight it. Control that with your mind. It's very important and it is very attainable. All these negative feelings are up because of hatred. On the flip side, of mental states such as kindness and compassion are definitely very positive and they are very useful. I love this statement right here. Hear this one out. If you maintain a feeling of compassion for yourself and for others, loving kindness, then something automatically opens your inner door. Through that, you could communicate much more easily with other people, and that feeling of warmth creates a kind of openness. You'll find that all human beings are just like you, and you'll be able to relate to them more easily. I'm going to read that again because I love it. If you maintain a feeling of compassion for others and even for yourself, which is very important, don't beat yourself up. So if you feel compassionate and love in your heart, kindness, then something automatically opens that inner door inside of you. Through that, you could communicate much more easily with other people, and that feeling of warmth creates a kind of openness. You'll find that all human beings are just like you, so you'll be able to relate to them more easily. Excuse me, I need to take a drink of this delicious coffee. Oops, it is so good. Oh, honestly, if there's anything that I love and I would be addicted to, it's just coffee. And I go with all the different I I treat myself to the expensive coffees just because I love the taste of it, and It's just good. Let's keep going. Well, stop talking about my coffee. Okay, we're gonna move on. I just said what I said. That statement, love it. That gives you a spirit of friendship. Then there's less need to hide things. And as a result, feelings of fear, self doubt, and insecurity are automatically dispelled. Laminos gone when you can absorb this and stick to it. They will leave. It's going to take time. They make it sound so easy. Oh, it's going. No, no, got to work at it, but work on the mind, and it will. It'll just go, and before you know it, you're going to wake up happy. What I do is I wake up when I get up in the morning. What I like to do is I'll put my feet on the ground, and I will say, "It is going to be a happy, great day. I'm going to have a fantastic day." I say whatever I want to say just to start the day. Then I meditate before I go to work, as we talked about. My meditation has a lot to do with the patience of people and the hatred of people and the nastiness of people. I don't do well with that because as we were all raised, you treat others as you wish to be treated. So with that, I have to work on that because I know other people are going to be mean, they're going to be rude, and I have to just accept them. And doesn't mean that you have to be ridiculed. You always want to stand up for yourself, but at the same time, I mean, obviously, you stand up for yourself if they're, abusing you in some way. But you're going to find that a lot of people are negative, and you have to take it upon yourself. And I'm preaching what I'm working on so bad, really hard, I should say, is being patient with others and the way they act and the way they talk to people. Because I'm the first one to say, "Hey, you don't need to talk to anybody." If I see something like that, I'm gonna say something, and I don't get physical or anything. Like, I just comment, like, that's just unnecessary. We don't need more of this in our world. We need way less, and it's going to be a much happier and easier place to live and cope and deal with everything else for that matter. So let's keep going. There's this high thing and this spells. Okay, so with all this mentioned, positive mental states like kindness and compassion definitely leads to better psychological health and happiness. So true. So, if happiness is simply a matter of cultivating more positive mental states like kindness and so on, why are so many people unhappy? And I just kind of touched on that. Um, you don't know their stories, and this doesn't even mention that in there. It just you don't know other people's stories. It's not our right to judge somebody else's um feelings. And again, I'm working on it, but we need to take in consideration that they could be having an awful day. They could have had, something taken away from them. Something horrible could have happened to them, which is causing them to act the way they do. Um, so there is a lot of unhappy people, and it could be through them not training your mind for happiness or not even taking the time for themselves or really looking at the broader things in life. So we as fellow human beings have to just sit back and go, man, something might be going on with them. I don't know what it is, but you have to excuse them. You know, again, they can't be abusive. I don't think that's right at all. But you just don't know their story, and it does. Like I said, it says why are people unhappy, and there's could be so many reasons to that. I don't know if there's really one answer. Okay, so with that, let's keep going. In order to achieve happiness, you need a variety of approaches and methods to deal with and overcome the varied and complex negative mental states. Change takes time. Even physical change takes time. For instance, if you're moving from one climate to another, which I did, I moved from California. I was raised here on the East Coast in Southwest Philadelphia, Darby. Um, and then I went to California for 25 years, and then I came back. So what they say here is change takes time, even physical change. For instance, if you're moving from one climate to another, the body needs time to adapt to the new environment. And man, I can attest to that because it went from 70 degrees every day where I lived in San Diego. I'm talking like beautiful weather, like all the time. I brought my wife out there, who's a part of our organization, of course. And every morning there was a marine layer, and she used to, she'd never been out there. She's like, "Hey, it's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. Our vacation's gonna be over." And I'm like, "Honey, it's just a marine layer. It's gonna go away and eventually be beautiful." And it did. And, up until around 10 or 11 o'clock, there was always hazy and it looked gray. And that's just because the ocean was very close to where we lived. And so, yeah, it ended up turning out to be beautiful. But when I came back here, I remember I got off the plane and I forgot. I used to come back and I used to do tattoos for a very long time. I'm a little too old for that now. My eyes don't do too well. I would come back, but I always come back in the spring and the summer because I didn't like cold because I got spoiled. But I came back when I came back to live here. I came back in October, I think it was, and it was so cold. I remember just walking outside the door and I felt that wind, and I'm a goofball, so like I was with my sister and I immediately turned back around and I started running towards the gates. Anyway, so I've been here since 2010 now, and I've adapted for sure. It took me a little bit. I still hate the cold. Um, so let's keep going. And in some way, transforming your mind takes time. So they're saying that just like your body, your mind's going to take time to transform from the way you're used to thinking to a new way of thinking. There are a lot of negative mental traits, so you need to address and counteract each one of these. This isn't easy, and I've told you this um, before, you guys. It takes a lot of work, and nothing comes easy in this world. Working out, if you're trying to achieve a certain goal, you got to work hard, and it's not easy. It takes work. It's not going to be handed to you. Like you can't hand somebody a mind transformation of I'm happy, just like that, like a ticket. Here you go. Now you're happy. It doesn't work that way. Woo, I wish it did, but it doesn't. Um, it's a process of learning, as I said. Excuse me. As I stated previously, it is a process of learning. Every day, as soon as you get up, you can develop a sincere, positive way of thinking. And that's what I said this earlier is when you wake up, you can, before maybe your feet hits the ground, or you just instantly go right to a positive thought. Put yourself in a state of mind right off the bat that you're going to have a great day. Things are going to go okay today. Um, and it may not, but then you could reflect later and say, what happened? What happened there? What can I work on to make it better? And sometimes you just can't. Whatever circumstances might throw you, what life may throw you, uh, it's out of your control. But I would say a good portion of your happiness, you're in complete control of that. A lot of things happened to me. I lost my son, and I don't know if I've ever mentioned that here, but you'll see on our website that I lost my son a couple years ago, and whew, I can start crying. Um, so how do you look at that in a positive way? Um, Grief is always there. So I try to spin certain things. I've now, through his passing, I've started this, and the wife, and we've started this platform, and we've helped a lot of people. And so that's a positive spin on it. It'll never be, it'll never be, I can never accept it, excuse me. But there's a way to take certain things and try to flip side, try to make a positive spin on it. And death, unfortunately, is very hard to do, but it is a part of life, and we're all going to experience it. at some point. Um, Grief is always going to be there. I'll never, ever just be okay with what happened to my son, but I can look at it in a way that he would want me to. And what I'm doing, I know he would want me to do. And with that, this is a kind of a part of my grieving process is by helping others. And I'm very passionate about it now. And I know he would be proud of me. So let's keep going before I lose it. Um, but as thing as time goes, every day as soon as you get up, like we just talked about, I will utilize this day in a more positive way. I should not waste this very day. And then at night before you go to bed, check what you've done. Ask yourself, did I utilize this day as I planned? As I spoke about a little bit earlier, I believe. If it went accordingly, then you should rejoice. If it went wrong, then regret what you did and critique the day. So then gradually, so through methods such as this, you can then gradually strengthen the positive aspects of your mind. And I think that's about it, you guys. Like I had said, this is very long. Um, Purpose of life, training of the mind for happiness. And this goes on for at least 20 or so more pages, I believe. So we're going to stop there so it's not too much information. Like I said, I want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching me today. I hope you take the time for the next reading, and I hope to see you. And also, don't forget about our fundraiser. I'm going to bring up the two things I brought up in the beginning. Our fundraiser, which is going to be a blast. I'm very excited about that. Come get yourself some food, enjoy some music. There is, like I said, there's drinks are very, very little cost. It's an American Legion. Also, if you wish to know the name of this book that I'm reading, oh, I'm sorry. If you want to go to the fundraiser, just in comments, go ahead and say, "Hey, I'm interested." We'll send you like a reminder invite through the emails, okay? And that's not a problem. And if you wish to find out what I'm reading, send me a comment as well, and I can tell you what it is. That way, we're not getting in trouble. I'm just talking to you, and I'm sure they won't mind. Okay, so thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great week. Um, Try to utilize some of the things I said and see what happens. That's all you can do is try. Thank you again. Over and out. See you soon.